Hi, I'm Ali and a warm welcome to Face Yoga Master Natural Beauty Over 40. So in today's video, I thought I would share with you how to use a Gua Sha tool to really help with the jawline and also that double chin. We're going to be doing some really great massage techniques using this tool to really help reduce toxins and waste around this area. Now, I've been a facialist for the last 40 years and I'm really passionate about skincare, and I'm really here to help you on your skincare journey. So first things first, you want to start off with clean skin, and also you want to start off with a clean Gua Sha tool. So this one has been I've actually washed it in warm soapy water and then finished off the cool water to finish off with. Now they also do come in various other shapes and sizes. I have this is a rose quartz one. As you can see, it's quite fairly small. I like to use this one for the eyes, but this is the more traditional one, which is a jade quartz, and so we're going to use this one today. Now, once you've done that, we want to apply some form of facial oil. So you've got to slip and glide. You don't have to, but particularly if you have older skin, you want something, you don't want to be dragging or pulling at the skin. So I have my facial oil here, so it's going to give that a shake. And so we're just going to apply just a couple of drops to the fingers here. Make sure it's nice and warm. And then just gently applying all along the facial part, lower part of the face, jawline, and also the neck. Not forgetting down by the side ears and also down by the side of the neck as well. So what we're going to do first, let's just do a couple of deep belly breaths just to get some oxygen and blood circulation to the neck and the head area and to calm down the nervous system before we use our tool. So placing our hands onto our chest, making sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Let's just take 2 deep belly breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then just roll the shoulders back just to get the lymphatics going as well. And then forward. And then I always like to finish off just backwards a couple of times so the shoulders are nice and reset. So now with the tool, we're going to start with this part here, the long part, which is almost like a bow part. And I'm placing it where the collarbone is, right into the middle here. Now, I like to use my tool fairly flat. Some people like to almost have a scooping effect, but flat because I find you have more surface area. So placing our hand onto the collarbone for more stability, just very gently and lightly glide all the way up to the chin area. And then when you get to the chin, you just want to give it a little wiggle just to get the lymphatics going. Going all the way up. Slow and mindful. And then working our way along, a little bit further along from the collarbone, along the neck, and again towards that jawline. Now the skin on the neck is very fine and delicate, so just a very light touch is needed. You don't need to go in too deep or heavy-handed. And then just a bit further along the jawline here. Okay, we'll do 3 on each section here. So slow and mindful. And then on the other side, coming along, getting towards the jawline and just giving it a wiggle. Nice and relaxing. Further along from the collarbone, along the jawline and, well, towards the jawline from the neck. This will also help with any of those fine lines and wrinkles on the neck as well. And then towards the last part here, all the way along. You may want to swallow when you're doing this and you feel things literally moving along. And we're moving toxins and waste, which is very close to the lymph. And so by moving lymph, we're actually moving toxins as well. So now let's work under the jawline here and concentrate first of all on that double chin area. So I'm just going to use this sort of like the end parts here, place my hand as an anchor and just gently glide along just from the double chin, potentially, and then on the other side, flat and mindful. And then taking the top part, almost like a top of a love heart here, hand as an anchor, and we're just very gently gliding it all from the chin along the jawline towards the ear, and then give it another wiggle. Now we have plenty of lymph nodes under the jawline, so we're really helping moving, again, toxins and waste within the lymph. And then obviously on the other side, it's coming down all the way along towards the ears. This will also help with a more sharper jawline and any sagginess on the jawline. So now let's work on the top part of the jawline here and the double chin area. So first of all, we're going to just take the end part again and work between the lip and also the chin area. We have a great acupressure point. So let's just place that onto the acupressure point here and just do a nice circular motion one way. Again, calming down the nervous system. And the other. And then taking the tool, this part here again, top of the love heart, and then placing it onto the chin and just gently gliding now above the chin and jawline towards the ears. Let's just do this 3 times on each side. Again, placing a hand, particularly as an anchor, particularly if you have older skin, which can be more wrinkly, so we don't want to be dragging or pulling. And again, whatever product you've placed onto your skin is going to penetrate in even better and deeper. So if you can get really good quality ingredients within your skincare range, it really does help. Okay, just gliding all along that jawline towards the ears. And so now we're going to take this part of the tool, placing our hand again literally on the jawline as an anchor, and we're now just working our way all the way up from the jawline towards that cheekbone as far as we can, and just give that a little wiggle and then just work our way along. Again, I like to use the tool fairly flat. We'll do this 3 times on each area. Coming along, nice, slow and mindful. And for the last time on this side with this technique. Now, if you don't have a Gua Sha tool, I will leave a product description in the description box down below, so they're quite easily available. It's also quite useful to be mindful where you buy your Gua Sha tool and to make sure it's actually natural stone as well and not some composite of plastic. And depending on your Gua Sha tool and what type of material it's made out of, it does have its own energy. So again, last time on this side, coming up to that, coming from the jawline all the way to the cheek area, and just giving that a little wiggle under the cheek. And then placing the top parts here, we're now working our way along. Again, throughout these Gua Sha massages, you can always take, again, more deep belly breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then on the other side, along the jawline, lower parts of the face towards the ears. And then we're going to take the tool, and then where the almost the bow part is here, we're going to place it quite nicely. It tucks under the ear, again where we have plenty of lymph nodes, and just gently glide down the big SCM muscle down to the collarbone. Again, I like to use the tool nice and flat. And then on the other side here, so with the parts here under the ear, nice and light down that big SCM muscle. So now let's work again a little bit more on the chin and the jawline area from underneath. So we're just going to take the tool and we're going to place again this part here, placing it under the chin area and placing my hand again as an anchor on the top of the chin, and just very gently glide down now towards the collarbone. Now you want to be very light on this area, the light touch. And then work along the jawline. Coming down 3 times on each section. And then further along. And then on the other side here. And again further along. Again, you may want to swallow when you're doing this. You can literally feel things moving along. And then down from the ear and the jawline here. So now we're going to take the tool again. We're coming from the jawline. We're going to come up as far as we can towards that nasolabial fold and that sort of indentation by the side of the ear, by the side of the nose, and then we're going to turn and glide all along lower part of the face and jawline towards the ear. So again, coming up, and you may want to use your finger as an anchor again, so you're not stretching or pulling at the skin. And this is a feather light touch. And what we're doing here, again, we're moving toxins and waste within the lymph. Smoothing out any fine lines and wrinkles or sagginess within the lower part of the face. I actually quite like this technique. It's like one of my favourites. It's almost like an instant facelift. And then on the other side, coming along, placing hand as an anchor and lifting up, turning under the cheekbone towards the ears, nice and light. You may want to do this in a mirror because you may find it easier to see where you're placing your Gua Sha tool, and to make sure that your skin isn't dragging as well. Again, gliding along. And then just gliding lower part of the face, the jawline, from the chin all the way along, using the larger part here, again, along here. And then again with the love heart part, calming along. Now you can spend as much time as you like on each section, obviously depending how much slackiness you have or fine lines and wrinkles. If you want to spend more time, that's fine, or perhaps there's one certain section you prefer to actually work on with your Gua Sha tool. And then with the love parts here, we're just going to come in front of the ear where we have plenty of lymph nodes, gliding down, nice and light, and then behind the ear where we have plenty of lymph nodes. And then again, the part which is the bow shape, which is like fits really nicely and tucks nicely under the ear, and you just want to glide down that big SEM muscle down to the collarbone. And then on the other side, gliding down front of the ear and behind the ear. And then placing this part here, which tucks behind the ear, and gently glide down the big SEM muscle down to the collarbone. And then I always like to finish off with a final lymphatic drainage release. So from the chin all the way down where our collarbone is, we have some indentations, and if you just give those a few gentle presses, this will release all the toxins and waste into the body, ready for elimination. And then hands placed onto the shoulders. Again, let's just do a few circular motions to really get the lymph going. Again, backwards, round circular motion, and then forwards. And then backwards again, just so we're resetting the shoulders in place, placing our hand onto our chest. And let's just take a couple of deep belly breaths to calm down the nervous system after our Gua Sha tutorial. So routine. So big deep belly breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. So once we've done that, obviously we've got our tool, and you want to make sure that you rinse it in, again, warm soapy water, finish off with a cool rinse, and then that's ready to use again. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing for more content. Like and share, that really helps with the algorithm. And please comment down below and tell me how you found the Gua Sha tutorial today. It's a slightly longer one, which I think really does help and really gets into the lymphatics. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please comment, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.